Okay.
Uh, what we're going to be doing is a better way of what we were going to do last week. This week we have a presentation of what I was going to talk about. It's 11.5-minute video that we'll show, and then we'll open up, for chat afterwards. We had one problem where our Wi-Fi didn't reach out to the trailer, and we didn't discover that till the last minute. And we're not sure if that helped cause problems with being Zoom bombed, but it caused big problems on the presentation itself. And so we have recorded it and we'll show it as part of this Zoom meeting, and then we'll talk afterwards. So how's everyone doing today? Is it hot?
Hey.
Doing fine.
Well, we're here in Virginia, around Roanoke, Virginia, and Boone's Mill. We are on our 23rd consecutive day of 90 degrees or over, which is a record as long as weather records have been kept around here. And the humidity is at least that, if not more. It's been extremely humid. So it's a scorcher out here.
Well, we're in the high 80s out here in Burbank.
Ah. Well, sounds like
no humidity.
Oh, wow. The humidity and the heat has been killing us. I see you, Scott. You made it. Good to see you. Can you hear me? Yep. Well, I didn't hear you.
Yes,
I saw you give us a thumbs up. All right, Michael, I see you.
Hey, Jim.
Hey there. And we're getting another one or two here.
Yeah, I'm here.
All righty. And Doreen, we see you, Doreen. All right. Well, we're a few minutes into it here. Everyone ready for the Titan Train Zoom presentation? We're going to give it another try. We're talking about how I tie down trains in the trailer. We'll also show you a little bit about the trailer in the presentation. But overall, this is how I do it and how I've done many different ways and many different trailers or ways to haul it over the years. This is one way that's successful for me, and I have to haul a variety of equipment. It changes with each load, so it makes it a little more difficult. But it all seems to work, and I've been pretty successful at it over many, many, many miles. So, everyone ready?
We're ready.
All right, and afterwards we're going to have, we're going to open it back up to a Zoom session and chat, and we'll go from there. We can talk about what we saw or any questions or anything else. All right, here we go. We're going to give it a whirl.
Good luck, Jim.
Thank you.
I'm Free of Titan Trains. Today we're going to show you a little bit about tying trains down, the way we do it in our train hauler trailer. First we're going to show some of how we get the track or the locomotives onto the trailer. Here's a rack from the plant, and which might be similar. You might have something like an unloading ramp or transfer table at the track site you're going to, but basically it's something similar where you're going to have a ramp that goes from the rack to the trailer. And then here we have a board on our trailer that we can scoot around to whatever track that guides the equipment into the track on the trailer. Also, this ramp door, which can hold the weight of locomotive and people, can be raised or lowered the way we have it, or it can be lowered. You'll notice I have straps keeping the ramp from sliding off the trailer, and a strap to keep the ramp from sliding away from the rack or whatever it is that you're unloading onto or from. Alright, a few other features of how we haul trains, and bear in mind I've been hauling trains for 35 years and a variety of trains and a variety of hauling equipment. And this is the way that I do it now, and I've settled on now. I've had other ideas, but this is how I want to do it now. If you have asked other people, you're liable to see a lot of other good ideas. So take it all together and come up with your own way, but this will hopefully give you a good idea of how to start. One thing to note is our trains are on wooden tracks. Basically, the flanges are rolling on the plywood with a plywood center that's guiding the inside of the trucks or wheel sets. This does a number of things, from cushioning the wheel sets a little bit on the wood instead of steel to steel. Even though the trailer is bouncing around, you'll never wear this out. And then also this center track, which is 3/4 plywood, gives a very good guide for the wheel sets so that they can't bounce off of the track. It also provides a raised platform so that when we pull the locomotive down through our straps, which I'll show you in a minute, that it's now riding solid. It's pulled down against the wood so that it can't bounce. Bounce is very bad for the equipment. So here the equipment is, it's very stable. It's going to be moving with the trailer and not bouncing all over the place. This is how we tie down a locomotive. We do it several different ways. The main thing that keep in mind that we do is that we strap those straps across the pilot deck, not across the body. The pilot deck is a structural member, and it can take the abuse of a strap. Also notice that we have the straps inside pipe foam insulation, and that's a good way to keep from scratching your paint. We have a strap going around the pilot deck, pulling the locomotive down to this wood so that it's solid and not bouncing or moving around. We have a strap going around the front of the locomotive to keep it from rolling this way. On the rear of the locomotive, we have the same setup so that now the locomotive is strapped down, can't bounce on both ends, and can't roll backwards or forwards. It's very stable and very sturdy. Okay, now we are going to show strapping down a train car. A typical train car might be a gondola, and we're going to strap it down, in this case, we're going to put a strap around the body, and that's how we're going to hold it down from bouncing or swaying back and forth. Do not do that with the locomotive, but on a train car, the sides and generally the roof, much of the roof points are structural members where you can strap around them. On each end of the car we have a strap, and going to a secure point, and that keeps the car from rolling back or the other way. At the other end of the car there's another strap to keep the car from rolling. So you want to make sure you're keeping the car from bouncing and from rolling forward and back. It's also sitting on the same track panel system where there's 3/4 wood to guide the wheels to help keep them in place in case there is a little bit of bounce. All right, moving blankets are a good accessory to have. You might have these in case you want to cover your equipment as you're traveling to keep things from potentially bouncing on them or just stuff falling against them. Also here we have a seat, one of our seats for a gondola, and it's sitting in the gondola. It is safe and secure, it's not going to bounce out, but if this was a painted gondola, I would have secured it so it can't move around and scratch the car. Again, here's just a strap over the car body. It's not extremely tight, but it is snug, so that you can see the car while it goes back and forth a little bit, and I might tighten it up some now. It's not going to bounce around. So here, let me tighten it up. There we go. But the car's not going to bounce around. If it was a painted car, we would have put pipe foam insulation around the strap to keep from scratching or rubbing the paint. Okay, here we're going to show you a stack of train cars. An easy way to transport some of the cars is to stack them, even whether they're painted or unpainted, or with trucks or no trucks. This is a good way to do it. See, the stack is pretty sturdy. And what I've done is, again, we've secured the bottom car with this strap around the end, each end, so it won't move forward or backwards. Then we've put a board across the top rail, like this, that the trucks sit on. And now the second car is sitting on that board and can't move past the stops of the trucks. It's secure to the car, has a little bit of give, but it's not going to bounce around a lot because we have a strap around the second car pulling down against the first car. That's going to keep it from moving and bouncing around. We also have a stabilizing apparatus so that the car can't rock back and forth. And it's a simple thing made out of a couple pieces of wood that I might put under the car. Once I get it under there, since I have it strapped as hard, I'll put that in. That'll keep it from coming out. And that helps keep the car stable from rocking back and forth. And then we've simply done another set of boards and set a caboose on top. And it's on two boards so that the steps aren't rubbing against the side of the car. You can do this with multiple cars. You could stack hoppers together. You could stack gondolas and flat cars together. You could have a stack of two cars like this and a flat car, and then maybe a caboose or a box car. So there are ways to gain stacking and moving equipment without having to have bigger trailers. It does require a little bit of help to stack the equipment, but the cars are such that you can pick them up. You know, two people can generally easily pick them up, stack them, and then strap them down. Thank you for watching our presentation on how we strap trains down to the trailer for transporting to track sites or customer sites. If you have any questions, you're welcome to contact me by phone or by email. Best way to find that information is on our website at www.titantrains.net. We welcome you to look at our website and look for information and or to contact us for anything you want to know about the trains, about how to strap them down, or even about the trailer that we haul them in. I'll be glad to talk to you. Thank you.
We can unmute everybody. Yep. All right, everyone. You can unmute. We're trying to unmute you, or you have to unmute yourself. There you go. All right, there. I think most everyone's getting unmuted now. So, thank you for watching our presentation. That's how we do it. Any questions or thoughts? Any other comments?
I can say that trailer that you've got, when I seen it at Mill Creek, that's pretty impressive.
Well, thank you. It's made it comfortable for me. That it's a good way to haul trains, and it's also comfortable to as a place to stay in when I'm at track sites or go take a break at a track site.
Yeah. Now, if I could just convince,
it makes it nice.
Now, if I could convince my wife to let me get something like that.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Jim, the tie-downs that you use look very, very light. I noticed that you had two different types of, that's my wife.
Yeah. Hi.
Thanks, Linda. I noticed that you had two different thicknesses of tie-downs. The green one, and there was a yellow one at the end of the presentation.
Mm-hmm. The yellow straps are what I use for tying between the trailer and the ramp door. That's what holds up the ramp door. So at any given time, it could be holding a couple of 1,000 pounds. And those yellow straps are extreme overkill for anything on tying down a train. Those green straps are extremely adequate. I've never had a problem, and I've got a few 100,000 miles under my belt throughout the whole country with those straps. And the tie down system. You don't need to overdo it, and you don't need to kill it. And I've been in all kinds of traffic situations and fast stops and extremely rough roads to where all of that's worked just fine. It's really a matter of the equipment needs to move with the trailer and not bounce around on its own in the trailer to where it can bounce out of place or move around. And so that's how I've been successful with it. I know it may seem like it's kind of light duty, but it works very well. Have not had any problems with it.
Unfortunately, I've ripped through quite a number of straps from Harbor Freight.
Mm-hmm.
And the yellow straps that you use, there's a smaller version of it.
Uh-huh.
But instead of having the 2-inch wide, there's a 1-inch wide version of the yellow straps.
Yeah.
Straps that are made for the entertainment industry out here.
Mm-hmm.
I've switched over to them.
Yeah.
Now my trailer that I haul trains in is 2-level, 3 tracks on the bottom, 3 tracks in the middle, and it's all suspended. So when I hit a bump, unfortunately, because it is a suspended track, it does move. So we need some really strong tie downs. But I love the idea of the the strap system that's used for the front of the locomotive. That's really clever.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
like that a lot.
This system I've used even when I've had multi-level trailers, and I have had, basically I have the same wood system where it's straddling a piece of plywood, and then I have tie downs to where I'm pulling down against that. So even on multi-level, that's what I've done. There are all kinds of ways to do it, and a lot of times it has to do with what resources you have handy to you. Of course, this is just how we do it. Also, another lesson to learn might be that Harbor Freight straps aren't quite the quality that we need to use. and I
No.
get that. I've generally used, I haven't used Harbor Freight, but I've used at least 1 or 2 notches better, I think, and had pretty good success. And on occasion, the straps have gotten a little rub or tear in them through use because they're on a sharp corner, and that makes the strap not usable for the next time. So I usually have extra straps. But yeah, that's, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think I'd like to try that center 3/4 inch fly on, because I'm using steel track. I wonder if I could put the that wood in between the tracks and pull down on that.
Yeah.
Michael is saying yes, so that's a good idea. I'm going to try that.
I mean, for me, the key on the locomotives is pulling the pilot down, which is attached to the frame, but pulling it down and getting it solid against basically your track. And however you do that will make that locomotive move with the trailer and not bounce and not get its own momentum as far as where it wants to go. And you don't really have to hold it down that tight or hard to do that.
Well,
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I use those blocks of wood like you were saying. I've got them permanently mounted in locations where I set my locomotive. And I actually use blocks of wood that fit up under the cars to help them. So when they are strapped down or whatever, but of course I've got a different system. I don't even use straps, but yeah, the blocks of woods are very, very necessary in my opinion. I learned from my first trip back home with my locomotive. The time I got back home, the one truck had slipped down off of the piece of rail, and I learned from them there, got to have it right.
Yep. Yeah, we got to have rail when we're running the locomotives. We don't necessarily have to have rail when we're transporting them.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, we opened the trailer one time when we were going up to Train Mountain, and we stopped at Denny's, opened up the back of the trailer, and there was a caboose on the second level, and the truck was dangling from the air hose.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I've had perfect loads, but I mean, we've had pretty successful. I've been on roads that were so bumpy, they shook the headlights out of the truck and broke them. So one headlight was out, but the load stayed pretty good. But it can be pretty tough.
Well, I do my engines very similar to what you do, Jim, except I have a carpeted fence picket that goes across the walkway in the front and the back.
Gotcha.
For the strap, and fortunately, none of the times I've traveled have either one of my locomotives derailed.
Well, I think you got a good system then. You've got it. It sounds like they're not bouncing around a lot and not moving around a lot, and that's key. The equipment can't develop its own momentum in the trailer. It needs to move with the trailer.
Yeah, the last load that we took up the Train Mountain, we had 5 locomotives and multiple train cars in one trailer. And we were so packed inside of it. Inside our trailer, we have a built-in battery system.
Uh-huh.
that charges up all the electrical locomotives when we're rolling.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had propane tanks in the trailer, which was not a good idea, but
No.
Well,
it was,
none of us have ever done anything like that. You know?
no.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But you know, we separated the gasoline though.
Yeah. Well, that way, if something happens, it all just goes away. There's
Yeah.
no pieces to pick up. It's easy. Something to be said for that.
How big is your trailer again?
That one's it's called a 27, it's a 27-foot box, which means overall, end to tongue, it's about 32 feet long. And it only weighs empty. It only weighs about 5,500 pounds.
Wow.
So I have found it quite nice as far as quarters and bathroom facility. I can pull off while I'm going down the road and go to sleep in a truck stop, or at track sites. I can go to sleep. I have very quiet generators in my truck where I can power everything and I don't annoy people. So I can have full air conditioning or heat and hot showers while I'm on the road. You have to be, use everything sparingly, but it works very well for me. Even has TV and DVD player in it. I have had up to 50-foot trailers, gooseneck trailers that were like semis almost. And I had to go through weigh stations and pay fuel taxes and so forth. They are basically much bigger versions of what this is, but now I've pared it down to something where I have about a 14-foot space of hauling trains. I want to haul certain trains for show and tell and delivery, because most of what we do here, we're set up to ship everything by common carrier to the customer. We have an extremely good system of crating and shipping, and it works out very well. It does cost some money, but so does having a trailer and going places cost money to deliver things. So when I go to a meet, I try to maybe make a little bit of delivery, but also have some things for show and tell, and also not kill myself trying to do it. We're all getting a little bit older, and I can't haul everything like I used to. And still get back to work and do it all again the next week, which I like to do. Anything else? Well, it looks like y'all are staying cool, hopefully staying well in all of this.
Yeah. It's a ridiculous situation.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's keep pressing forward. Scott, you're awful quiet.
I'm just kick back listening.
Well, sounds good. Michael, it looks like you got a new something here recently.
Yeah, I got a new toy this morning.
Good.
It got here in 4 days.
It's amazing the shipping to the LA area from here, or certain other parts of California.
Yeah.
Transit time.
I'll send you a few pictures of them together a little bit later.
All right. Well, we appreciate that. Give us some good posting material, which hopefully you all are enjoying.
We'll have to teach Michael how to light the trains properly.
Well, we certainly appreciate the photos that he took and sent. We're going to be starting to post them and start working with them here. So thank you a whole lot for that. It was good to see the group there, and or some other trains anyway. Mm-hmm.
A couple questions in chat.
All right, looks like I got a couple of questions here. Let's see.
So from Andrew. Hello everyone. My engine is stored in a personal storage facility at our club. It hasn't left the club since it arrived. Miles, what type of engine do you have? And Jim, have you ever been to any clubs on the East Coast?
All right. Well, yes, I have been to a lot of clubs on the East Coast and throughout the country. I haven't traveled as much as I used to some years ago, but we're cranking that back up. that has gotten slowed down because of the COVID virus. I haven't made as many meets this year as I was prepared to, but I will be ready for doing more meets, East Coast, and anything within a 500 to 1,000 mile radius, and also plan on doing the Train Mountain big meet when it happens.
Yeah.
And as far as, let's see, the engine stored in your personal space, what type of engine do you have, Miles?
Well, Jim, we just got that SW 1500 from you a couple of months ago for the club. I personally have an SW 1500 hydrostatic, and as Michael Murphy will tell you, the other trains that I might have, they're either blue or green or brown, because I don't know what the hell they are.
Well, that works. That covers some bases.
I remember my daughter turning around to me, and because she wanted to ride horses, so we finally got her a horse. Somebody came up to me and said, well, what kind of horse is it? And I said, it's brown.
There you go. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said, what type? I said, well, it's long, and she rides on it. So my trains are SW 1500. My partner has a Mopac. Michael will tell you what type of train that is.
So Miles has an SW 1500 and slug from Rail Systems, a boxcar, gondola, and caboose and tank car that came from different manufacturers. I think the tank car is one of your old 5-foot tank cars.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And Thane's train is?
That E&S lines in Florida that used to be in Florida. It's one of their F7s.
Okay, cool.
AA set and about 5 bench cars and one of those old aluminum passenger cars. I can't remember who made them. We've talked about them before.
Okay. Well, Andrew, he texted a question here, and he got his locomotive, and I guess it looks like it's been in storage because of the virus. He hasn't gotten a chance to use it, but I know he's anxious to, and he seemed to be pretty happy with its arrival. So good luck, Andrew. Hope you get to use it here sometime soon, and hopefully I'll get up to your club. So always welcome to send me an invite to clubs to try to get me on the schedule, because I do want to get out and see some people and see some clubs again, and private tracks too.
We're waiting for you out here in Los Angeles, Jim.
Well, I look forward to being able to come out there. All right, well, we're getting close to the ending time here. Any other questions or thoughts or comments?
I was going to ask you, how did Dick McCloy like that B&O GP9 you delivered to him?
I think he wants to get rid of it. I think if someone offered him $1,000, he'd get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think he likes it. One thing, if you don't hear much from the people, things are usually pretty good. So I haven't heard much out of him except that he's running it.
That's good.
And plus someone else saw it and ordered something, not the same thing, but something similar. So I guess it's doing okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you all tuning in. It looks like we had a successful meeting here. A lot of people are viewing these way after the fact, as we found out. So while there's not a whole lot of people on during the meetings, a lot of people are watching these and taking it in afterwards. So I appreciate it again. We're going to do this again on another topic in 2 weeks. We'll be posting and also probably email a little bit the information. And so glad to have you. Y'all take care and happy railroading.
Thanks, Jim.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Very well.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.